The 2011 season of Dodge Viper Cup has come down to the final race of the year here at Daytona International Raceway. Three drivers still mathematically in contention. Ben Keating, your leader. The phenomenal young A.J. Morgan is still in it. And pro racer Jeff Courtney is in it to win it. This is Dodge Viper Cup.
We have arrived at the final round of the 2011 Dodge Viper Cup, presented by Pennzoil Ultra. I'm Greg Creamer. You know Tom Natchew, and we are at Daytona International Speedway once again, where it's all about water, whether it's the infield lake or the beach nearby. But this weekend, it is all about Vipers, a huge event here, and this is the season finale for the Dodge Viper Cup. Your starting lineup for the second straight event here: Dom Farnbacher on the pole, team owner Ben Keating alongside, going for the championship. A.J. Morgan still in the points hunt, and celebrity driver Kuno Whitmer. We'll tell you more about him in just a minute. Craig Stanton, another celebrity driver, great pro as well, and Jeff Courtney, the third driver, still with a shot at that championship. Dave Fiorelli inside row 4, joined by Jim Booth from USGT, having a great run in round 9. Todd Nelson and Mark Montour are back and fill out row number 5. You take a look at row 6, Dave Mazik and Kurt Solberger, both of them having strong runs throughout the season and certainly yesterday. Michael Von Quillick and Mopar's NHRA Pro Stock driver Alan Johnson getting quicker every time he gets on the track. Corey Vetzuk inside row 8, joined by Connie Bogan. Great to have her back. Then we take a look at row 9, Brad Gorondona and Dave Decker complete the 9th row. And obviously got some great competition to unfold. You notice that Louis-Philippe Montour not here. He had to fly back to school. Priorities. When those wheeling lights go out, the season finale starts. We are underway, and again, Dom Farnbacher gets a good launch. Stanton this time has it figured out and gets a good start as well. And Farnbacher, quickly we look back, but look at A.J. Morgan already trying to get down the inside of Ben Keating. Remember, this is championship serious implications here. Boy, Keating really sawing at the wheel right there, but he hangs on, Tom.
You know, Dominic Farnbacher once again is the rabbit, but A.J. Morgan doesn't have any time to waste here. If he can get through on this infield portion in lap number 1, that puts him in the catbird seat, and then it's his race to hold off Ben Keating.
And the problem for A.J. is early on here, that yellow Viper right behind him, third in this shot, looking back from Dom's car, is no less than Kuno Whitmer. He's a celebrity driver here, so he doesn't get points. However, he can change the positions, and he is Mopar's factory road racer in these Vipers. He can get it done. And look at this move by Ben Keating as he pulls over and gets down underneath Farnbacher and picks up the point. So, a little loose there. Very aggressive move in by Keating, but manages to hang on to it. That's huge.
You know, these guys must have talked about this before, because this is the way I would have run it in round number 9, is to put Dominic Farnbacher between myself and the competition, and it looks like Ben Keating has an opportunity to do that. But as we know in Dodge Viper Cup racing, for now, it has to be the caveat.
Well, exactly, and look at this, A.J. Morgan coming up and getting a big run on Dom Farnbacher. Is it enough? Yeah, you bet it is, and it sounds like that might be off just a little bit. And he's able to just easily drive by Farnbacher and get the point. Now, Farnbacher's certainly going to try and stay in it here. Oh! Morgan got in way hot down into turn 1 contact. The two leaders in the championship battle have come together.
And A.J. Morgan manages to drive off with the lead, it looks like. Meanwhile, that's going to be under review for sure. That was a very, very bold move.
You can hear the cartoon whistle coming out of the ears of that helmet of Keating right now. Obviously, very much going to frustrate him. Very early in the going here, it's Morgan leading, Whitmer and Farnbacher with Courtney and Fiorelli and Keating at the back. We'll see how that turns out. Welcome back to the season finale for the Dodge Viper Cup presented by Pennzoil Ultra, and it almost is a season finale too early for Ben Keating. Tom, that Viper Exchange Viper, as you can see, lots of damage.
Well, there's the tire, there's probably a bent rim, and look at that exhaust pipe. It's closed up from the impact there, and that's not how they want to run. They want to run them wide open. You know, Daytona's a long way around when you have to drive a flat all the way around. There you see the contact. I'm going to say that was an ambitious move, but A.J. Morgan has got a championship to win. Now that there's a look from Farnbacher's car, what do you think, Greg?
Oh, I mean, obviously he got in there way hot. The door was closing already. I think it was optimistic, certainly, but it's put him up front. And you've got Kuno Whitmer slotted right into second right now. And you pointed out, is that going to be reviewed? Well, we're already hearing it is. It is being reviewed. We'll update you with any information. Meanwhile, Kuno Whitmer trying to dive down underneath and take that lead away. Again, he does not accrue points, but if he gets into the lead and AJ were to finish second, that would only be second place points. After qualifying, here's basically what the point scenario slots out to. Keating needs 4 points. He's got to complete at least 75% of the laps to get points, even so he can't just stop once he gets to a certain point. He's got to complete those laps. 4 points gets him the championship, even if it ties because of a tiebreaker. So Kuno getting through, that's not what AJ wanted, but with Keating way at the back, we'll have to see. But I really don't think this one is decided.
No, you know, as you say, 70 or 75% of the laps, that can be done. But first he's got to get that Viper back to pit lane, change up that rim, see what they can do about the exhaust, put a brand new Michelin tire on there, and then send him back out again to make as many laps as he possibly could. So he's kind of has the championship in his hand, but he doesn't. I can't believe how this has played out.
AJ, look at that, Tom. That tire, that right front tire, which is obviously the contact point, has come apart. And boy, karma. Well, now the championship is wide open. Meanwhile, there's Craig Stanton in the Pennzoil Ultra car, and of course Pennzoil Ultra supporting the series, but all of the competitors benefit huge as well, and Dick Winkles tells us more about that program.
This year we've partnered with Shell Products, which is the manufacturer for Pennzoil motor oils, and we looked forward to getting together with Shell because they offered a lot of technical capabilities that we perhaps haven't had quite the access to in the past. It's been a very good relationship. They provided oils for the teams in the Dodge Viper ACRX Cup, and it's been a great product for us, a great relationship. We also switched over to the Shell Ultra product for the road cars for SRT, so you'll be seeing that in your Vipers and your Hemi products and so on down the road. And again, it offered us some really good friction modifications, some good wear characteristics, and a very good detergent base.
Well, Pennzoil Ultra and that whole Pennzoil line has been so supportive of motorsports and so involved for so many years. It's an honor for Dodge Viper Cup to be presented by Pennzoil Ultra. I think it says a lot about the prestige of this series, and only its second year already. Great to have them on board. Speaking of on board, we're on board Dom Farnbacher looking back, and oh, look at that. Huge run, and Farnbacher is slowing. Something not quite right, and Farnbacher has moved well offline. And you know what? All of this development has put that guy, Jeff Courtney, right smack dab in the middle of this championship.
You know, I don't want to say it's Friday the 13th, but it feels like Friday the 13th. Top 3 runners all gone to the back, and now Jeff Courtney trying to hold off that number 52 car, and he's in a hurry too.
Boy, Stanton is obviously he was frustrated with what happened yesterday, or in round 9, I should say, when he had that problematic start. And woo, was that close? I think Stanton just suddenly caught a toe he wasn't quite expecting, and that was a very sudden adjustment move to the inside. And now the question is, can Courtney keep that pace up around the outside edge? Not enough. Courtney thinking about it and tried to close the door. Stanton having none of it and stays put down into turn 1. That is a tricky entry to that corner off that banking.
Well, the thing is, Greg, right out of the tri-oval, you've got such a long distance to get down to turn number 1, and you're still accelerating, looking at the guy beside you, trying to figure it out. It's a tough place to race.
It is. Whitmer and now Stanton into second with Courtney third, Fiorelli and Nelson your top 5, but that championship battle is on. Daytona International Speedway hosts the season finale for the 2011 Dodge Viper Cup presented by Pennzoil Ultra. Couldn't have a better day for racing, absolutely beautiful. And it is fast and furious on the track. Looking back at a great battle a little bit further back in the pack, the battle for 10th, and Connie Bogan and Corey Vetzuk really having the pressure here as they are coming up on the back of Dave Mazik, and this is some great racing as well. Great to have Connie back in the championship.
Well, Connie has always been a standout in the championship. She was here race one, day one, always been enthusiastic, and she and her husband tow all over North America just so that she can participate in this ACRX. Corey Vetzek, in the meantime, looking a little bit racy back there. It's not the first time we've seen him, and we expect big things from him.
As we are on board, whoa, and a big wobble there suddenly. Yeah, that's racy, just a little bit too much so, and it cost him that big wobble. And that's going to cost Vetzek the run up onto the banking as well. And yep, he's going to get past and just tucks right back in behind.
So Vetzek makes a little bit of a mistake there and shows how dearly you pay as soon as you lose momentum here. As a lot of great drivers said, to run at Daytona, you need two things, mentum and momentum. Looks like he got some back.
And he just drafted beautifully, but look at that move. Shut, we'll try to. That's Alan Johnson, the Mopar drag racer, doing what he does best, straight line it.
Yeah, very good. Straight through. And now I'm sure he's wondering, do I have a penalty to pay here, or what's the deal?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, he's going to be paying attention to that as we hop on board now with Dave Mazik, looking back at Connie Bogan, this battle for 10th. All of that unfolding behind her, and I'm sure she's looking at the mirrors going, well, that's better.
Yeah, well, Dave Mazik, also another up-and-comer in the Viper Series, as he comes along here. He started off quite slowly, quite cautiously, but every race we see a little better performance from Dave Mazik.
Absolutely, and I have to give some kudos to Alan Johnson as well, as every session he's been improving by seconds, and that qualifying session for this race today, he was really on form. It was great to see, and obviously he was getting racy, just a little bit too hot in, and had to go straight through, but great to see that as well. It's only his second appearance in these cars, this event here this weekend at Daytona, and kudos to him, and it's great to have such a legendary driver. I mean, you know, you look at the stats that he's put together in terms of what he's achieved in NHRA racing in the Pro Stock division. That's just great, and he's got some work, though, to do to catch this battle for 10th now.
Dave Mazik looking back at Connie Bogan as she gets closer and closer. These two are always having a race. No matter where we go in Dodge Viper Cup, these two always seem to find each other, and in pit lane they get right back out and have a lot of fun. Meanwhile, let's go back to your familiar colored leaders.
Absolutely, and this is a fascinating battle unfolding right now. Two very talented pro drivers. Kuno Whitmer, we talked about his accomplishments as Mopar's factory road racing pro driver. Craig Stanton has driven about everything and is extremely good at it. A lot of laps here at Daytona as well. And I'll tell you, this might be a short sprint race, but hauling these big, powerful cars around Daytona takes a lot of work, and nobody is more fit than Craig Stanton.
All right, I finally finished up with the calculator. If Jeff Courtney stays this distance ahead of AJ, he's got AJ in the championship. But remember, Ben Keating has to do is 70% of the laps in this thing. He is back out on the track and circulating, although we haven't seen him lately. It's still his to lose, and you know that Tomball team is going to do everything they can to support him so he can get those laps done.
Absolutely, and he is working, as you said, deep in the pack right now, just trying to deal with it. And that closed up exhaust, fixing the tire and getting a fresh Michelin on there. And he was lucky to have a Michelin on that because it didn't flail apart and rip that back end up. That's what Michelin does incredibly well. But that closed exhaust, he's going to be suffering in the power department. It's just going to turn into a long day for him.
Well, sometimes it's better it works out that way. He's all by himself, he's out there circulating, and he knows he's got the championship in his hand, but I guarantee you the radio traffic between Courtney and his pits and Ben Keating and his pits is wet and wild.
Absolutely, as we continue to watch the battle up front. In Stanton, he'll close it up a little bit, and then he'll just drift back off the backside of your leader, Whitmer. As those two guys, it's, the old accordion thing. Stanton looks to be very strong into the bus stop and out of that section of track, but Whitmer running strongly elsewhere, and it's just a great seesaw battle.
I get the feeling that looking at Kuno Whitmer, he may be just gapping him a little bit. Craig Stanton, Courtney, Fiorelli, and Nelson, your top five, will be back after 9 laps.
We are into our final few laps here of this 2011 Dodge Viper Cup presented by Pendrell Ultra Season, and that is the slowest you're ever going to see Kuno Whitmer go, and it's because we've mechanically done it.
500 frames a second, but doesn't a Viper just look right here on this race course?
It looks right, and it looks wicked quick, just like that. Just absolutely wonderful. We are into our last lap. Whitmer, there went Stanton. That's your battle for the lead. And again, in terms of the points, well, Courtney right there sits third, but where we show Ben Keating right now, if he can finish that this next lap, he will get the championship. So it's just that close here right now. And we are watching as we start this final lap. Can Stanton do anything with Whitmer? Of course, race win honors, always very important here. And boy, I'll tell you, Stanton doing everything he can in that Pennzoil Ultra car, just not able to close it up.
I think you might have been right in the last segment where you said that Stanton may be a little bit quicker in the infield. That's a part of the racetrack that Kuno is very nuanced in there. When you do a 24-hour race, you get through that, what, 150, 200 times. So he understands all the nuance here. Kuno may not, but when it comes time to get a Viper to go fast, there's nobody better in the world than Kuno Whitmer. Well, except for Farnbacher, but that was at Nürburgring.
Yeah, a different challenging track, to be
Keep
sure.
in mind that Kuno also was in the ACRX there and knocked out one heck of a great time at Nürburgring, impressing everybody who was watching.
And for the last time, out of turn 6, up onto the banking and making that run down to the bus stop. As we've talked about, Stanton, very, very good into the bus stop, but I don't think he's close enough. He doesn't have any kind of a draft at this point. He's just not going to be able to do anything, barring a mistake by Kuno, and you don't see Kuno make many mistakes.
Well, Kuno gets through there very smoothly. As you see, Craig is on full set to pass stun as he goes steaming out of there. Gets a run up onto this back
didn't he?
oval going in through turn 3 now. This could be interesting through the tri-oval. Craig Stanton's going to make a race out of this.
Absolutely. He got a great run through the bus stop and exit up onto the banking, and coming after him, Whitmer onto that last little chute. Now into the tri-oval. He'll start the bend right here, the checkered flag right in the middle of it, and he does it. Whitmer makes the win, his first appearance in the ACRX in the Dodge Viper Cup. Just superb. And here is Ben Keating. He now just has to complete this lap. He's done the math in his head, and he's on the radio with the crew. You see him waving. He's enjoying this moment immensely after a close run in the championship in 2010 in the first ever season of Dodge Viper Cup presented by Pennzoil Ultra Competition. He was close. This year he's going to get it. But Whitmer gets the win with Stanton second. Jeff Courtney a fighting third right to the very end. And then you go back into this next page here. There you see Ben Keating, 15th. That'll do it. Needed 4 points, got 12. There's your story. And A.J. Morgan, of course, with that tire problem way at the back as well. There are the final points. Courtney into second, as Tom mentioned, with A.J. obviously a little frustrated there in third. And then the rest of the points runners. It has been a great championship, to be sure. And what a treat to watch it all come down to this final round. 3 guys going in. And just a moment ago, watch this, a burnout by Kuno Whitmer. And then he makes the hard left turn into victory circle. And that is where he found Tom.
Well, Kuno, 2 years of Dodge Viper Cup, ending up at Daytona International Raceway. You show up for the last one and win it. That can't be any better than that.
I mean, if I was in any other product right now, I wouldn't be this happy, but this car was just awesome. It just shows how strong a Dodge Viper is, and you know, for Team PST and SRT Motorsports to let me drive this last finale. I've been cringing to drive for the last 2 years. I helped develop this car, so I've always wanted to step in. I see winners on the podium, and I've always wanted to be there. So it's a good feeling, a good feeling for the series. I think there's positive stuff for the series in the future, and this is where the series needs to go.
Anyways, Kuno, thank you very much for showing up for the last race of the year. Congratulations on your first Dodge Viper Cup win.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you've celebrated a lot of Sunday afternoons in Daytona at Daytona International Speedway. Yeah. This particular one, you look like you're having the time of your life.
You know, is great. Lux Performance does a great job. Dodge, Michelin, and Michelin's never gave up. Pennzoil car, you know, they just gave me a great car all weekend. I'm in victory circle at Daytona International Speedway. This is sacred ground. This is exciting. It feels it right here. This is very inspiring. So, you know, it's hard to get here, and it's great to be here. And Dodge did a great weekend. It was amazing. Can't wait to come back.
Thank you very much, Craig.
Thank you.
Well, Jeff Courtney, what a day. I mean, so many things happened. We're still not sure exactly what went down. But of the contenders of this championship, you finished first.
Yeah, to be honest with you, coming into this race, I figured it was over, whatever. And, man, just everything fell into place. We really had a good car. And I thought we were actually gaining on Kuno, but Craig was just schooling me out of the bus stop, man. I don't know. I got to look at what he's doing because I thought I had him covered everywhere else, but he was getting such a great run out of me out of the bus stop and catching up to me. But he's probably got more laps here than I have at every track.
I would imagine that he's got a few more laps here at Daytona. He's been coming here since 1995. But the fact is that the car's held up, the tires held up, and we're standing in Victory Circle at Daytona International Speedway. What do you think of that?
It's not all bad. It's not all bad. It didn't look that good at the beginning, but hey, thanks to Kenda for being with me all year, the rest of my sponsors, Rec Stuff, Coins of America, JG, appreciate all the support, and it turned out to be a great weekend.
Jeff Courtney, great year.
Thanks, Tommy.
All right, mate.
And it's great to have such a strong competitor as Jeff Courtney in this championship. There was a look at the Dodge Viper Cup itself, the perpetual trophy that travels year to year. You have to earn your name on it. And after Ryan Shims did it last year in the debut season, this man, Ben Keating, will add his name to that cup after coming close last year. Damage to the door from that contact. He's with Tom.
I could never have written a script this good. I mean, the drama today is unbelievable.
I guess good is a matter of perspective.
You're standing in Victory Circle at Daytona International Raceway as the Dodge Viper Cup champion. It doesn't get better.
That's true. It could have come easier. I had to finish the race. I had to finish 75% of the laps, and I had to, and either AJ or Jeff could not finish in first if I DNF'd. So, I think second lap of the race, AJ got extremely aggressive. There was no way he was making that turn. I went in there as hot and fast as I possibly could. And I saw him coming like a freight train. I think if he hadn't hit me here, he was in the tire wall. And anyway, it was, I can't say enough. I mean, ViperExchange.com, Tom Ball Dodge, we've worked extremely hard all year long. Neil Hanneman, God, Brian, Matt, thank you guys.
Thank you for being such a great champion in 2011. Thank you.
And you can hear the emotion, and you can see it in Ben Keating's face as he claims the second ever championship. There is the podium from today's race, and Kuno Whitmer on top. There you can see Stanton along with Jeff Courtney, and I'll tell you what, it has been a fabulous season. I'm Greg Creamer, and for Tom Natchew and all of us at Internal Combustion Group, it has been an honor to be able to bring you the second season of the Dodge Viper Cup presented by Pennzoil Ultra and on those marvelous Michelin tires. Superb competition. We look forward to seeing you all next year. Take care, everybody.